Namaste everyone, this is Pradnya and welcome to my channel Awaken with Pradnya. Today I am going to speak about the seeking of third party advice in the twin flame journey, and I think this is one topic which I personally feel is most needed to be discussed because I have been interacting with so many of you who are going through this experience and who are utterly confused about where to turn to, whom to seek information from, and who can actually help you. And there are so many people who are getting deviated from their actual path and getting so confused because they are just going and seeking anyone and everyone outside without even knowing whether those third parties can really provide them that sort of an advice. I'm particularly making this video so that I can put forward what my views are when it comes to seeking a third party advice. Before I begin, I want to ask all those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and get something which you might be looking for when it comes to your twin flame journey and ascension process. I started my own twin flame journey. I met my twin flame in 1990, and that time there was no internet, there was no term called twin flame. I was obviously not awakened at that time, and I was going through a certain experience, and I have had my own days of pain where I was completely devastated, I was completely confused, I was in trauma, I was feeling rejection, I was feeling abandonment, confusion, everything you can think of on this planet Earth, which is a negative emotion, and I have been through it enough number of times. But something in my mind kept me telling, hold on for one day, hold on for one day. I have got stuck 1,000 times in this journey. I have gone through unbearable pain as if somebody has literally died, or I have died myself 1,000 deaths. I mean, that sort of pain I have gone through, and I had nobody to turn to. Now, today, if I look back at that whole scenario, I feel that it was kind of a blessing in a disguise, because just because I was not having anybody to turn to, I had no other option but to turn inside myself and look for the answers in my own heart. So, whatever progress happened during all these years when I was trying to find answers, I naturally progressed spiritually in many ways. And along with that, I think I had a very strong guidance from my spirit guide, which everybody has who is on this journey. I came across a lot of books which helped me in some or the other way, directly or indirectly. I came across few spiritual masters who were teaching something particular, but I could derive so much of meaningful understanding through their teachings, which immensely helped me in this journey. What really kept me going through this journey was only one thing, and it was the love I felt for my twin flame. And today, if I look back, I can now connect the dots and I can say 100% that my spirit guides, my divine team who has been guiding me throughout my journey, has always been there with me. Everything, whatever I have come along with, is only through my own inner guidance. Because of that, I can completely vouch on this and say that in your twin flame journey, you do not need any sort of a third party getting into a picture in your own personal journey. You are 100% well equipped to navigate through your own spiritual experience. What are the typical problems when it comes to going to third party? First of all, you don't know who is the genuine third party, right? Like, if you are figuring out somebody and you want to go and seek advice from that person, what is the validity, or how do you validate that this person is a genuine psych or this person is a genuine expert in tarot reading? You cannot authenticate it on your own. Secondly, if they really are an expert, they may not be going through your experience being a twin flame. Everybody is not a twin flame, so a psych whom you are seeking advice from may not really able to comprehend what sort of experience you are going through, what sort of situation you are dealing with. and they may end up giving you a wrong advice. First, I'm coming to tarot readings. Now, when it comes to tarot readings, I'm definitely not against tarot reading. Tarot reading is an ancient science and it works on energies and it reads your current energies. There's a lot of people who are really authentic and expert in tarot reading, and they provide a great advice to a lot of people who are getting confused in their lives. But when it comes to specifically a twin flame connection, there are a lot of people who are getting so desperate to first of all know that whether this person is particularly their twin flame or not. So they are seeking twin flame validation. Many of the people are asking for predictions through tarot readings. First of all, tarot reading is not a prediction tool. It cannot predict your future. It can just read your current energies. As a lot of people are going for predictions, I want to tell them that there is nothing in future which is set. There is nothing set as a permanent future. You are the co-creator of your future. So instead of being vulnerable, getting into a vulnerable situation, getting into pain and disappointment and anxiety, if you start understanding and believing that you are a co-creator of your future and your free will is as important as the divine plan, the divine plan and your free will go hand in hand. So instead of getting vulnerable and getting restless, if you start focusing on what you really want from this life, you really believe in what you want to attract, that would be a better thing to do than getting into predictions. That is one thing. Secondly, tarot reading cannot confirm anybody being your twin flames. It is not a tool to validate your twin flame connection. Another pitfall which I can see in tarot reading, if you are resonating with the kind of reading you are getting, there is a high chance that you will get addicted to it. It's very easy to be addicted to these things. Why I don't really suggest doing that, because first of all, a reading like a tarot reading or a psych reading or any sort of this third party reading, although I'm not really against those readings, but I still feel that it is very important that I mention these points to you, that when you start going to these readers, you start feeling that there is very less which is in your control and there is something else which is at power, and you are just supposed to follow or know what is going on over there. So it sort of makes you vulnerable, it puts you in a vulnerable situation, and it is a weaker position. It is not really empowering you. If you are really on a spiritual path, a spiritual seeker, on the path of spiritual transformation, the first and foremost thing which you need to remember is that you are here to empower yourself, you are here to transform yourself, you are here to uncover your true self, which is way powerful than what you think. But if you are going to these third party readers and getting the readings again and again and getting addicted to it, you are focusing on your weaker self. You are not really focusing on your stronger self. It feels really amusing and entertaining to read such information or listen to such information. But is it really adding value to you? Is it really changing or shifting anything inside you? Tarot reading or any psych reading does not provide you any inner growth. And that is why I always suggest people that don't get into tarot readings when it comes to validating twin flame connection or growing on this path on the twin flame journey. Another thing along with tarot cards is psych reading. So there are a lot of people who are also running these services as paid services, and they are reading things and they are directly declaring that according to their reading, they don't think that so and so person is your twin flame. Some people are asking birth dates of both the people, and according to their birth dates, they are predicting that when they will be in union. So anything of this sort, I feel you should be refraining from, because from your birth date, it is impossible to predict when you will be in your union. So there are a lot of people who are making this as a business. They are encashing on your vulnerability. I'm not saying that there are no genuine psych readers. This is like a common problem which most of the people are facing, that they don't resonate with the reader and then they get even more confused than they were before. You go to a psych, you ask them if this person is your twin flame or not, then they tell you that no, they don't think that this is your twin flame. Then you are in confusion, you are really in pain, you don't know what to do, your inner self is telling you something else, and you are not satisfied with that reading. So what you do, you go to another psych, you ask that person whether this person is your twin flame again for the second time. Now that person also tells you that no, I don't think this is your twin flame. So again you are really sad and disappointed and frustrated, because in your heart you are feeling that this person is your twin flame. So you go to a third reader, ask them the same question. Now this third reader tells you that yeah, this person is your twin flame. Then you start feeling better, that okay, you are concluding that the last two readers were not really authentic. This person is an authentic reader because he is telling you that that person is your twin flame. So what is happening here is that you are wanting to hear what you want to hear, and because you are not able to hear what you want to hear from the previous two psychs, you are going to a third psych. So you're understanding it is all your mind game, and in this whole scenario you are getting more and more confused, more vulnerable, more weaker, more in pain. And if you only and only focus in your inner self, turn inwards and get into your own heart and ask these questions to yourself, to your higher self, to your gut, you will get a right answer, and you will never be doubtful about your own answer. If you really go into the root of why people or you or me need or feel like going to some third party in the first place, because we feel that we are not really well equipped to understand what is happening with us or what we need to do. We feel that somebody else is more knowledgeable, somebody else is much more expert, or somebody else, some other person is a psych, they have a psych ability, you don't have that ability. You believe that, and that is why you want to go to them. But if at all you are facing something like this, you have to turn it around. You have to start trusting your own inner guidance more than anything else outside. Another very common practice which I notice is that many people are feeling that according to their birth date or their astrology charts, synastry charts, or their numerology details, somebody can confirm and validate their twin flame connection. So astrology is an ancient science, and yes, there could be a possibility that through astrology you could determine some factors of a twin flame connection. Never been into astrology, so I know very little about it, but I do know that it is a very ancient and very authentic science, and it's a very advanced science. The first pitfall is that the astrologer you are consulting with, does that person really have a great idea about what a twin flame connection is? What sort of deep study he has got, we don't know. Secondly, twin flame connection is something which is beyond our earthly timelines. It does exist in multiple dimensions. We have been living various life with that twin flame. Our past lives could be together or as a single person. So deciding what is the chemistry of our connection through astrology only based on your current life's current birth date is a very narrow-minded perspective. Calculating your numerology only based on your this life's birth date, because you may have had 100 lives before with your twin flame, and you would have 100 more lives with your twin flame. You are still connected with your twin flame in multiple realms, in 4D, in 5D, and even above. So when it is that sort of a connection, you cannot calculate things only according to your this life's birth date and predict anything. Another thing is, mostly we look at astrology when we want to compare our compatibility for being a life partner and all that. But as I said in my last video, that this connection is not about your karmic connection or a marriage material or a soulmate connection. Twin flame connection is a spiritual connection. So there is no point in looking at astrology chart and there is no point in trying to do a matchmaking there with astrology and numerology. It's not about your compatibility with them. You may not be compatible at all with each other, but the reality is that you are still twin flames. And you may never get married to each other, or you never date each other, but the reality is that you are still twin flames. So if you consider this point and you consider this aspect, you will realize that there is no point in dragging yourself into things like numerology or astrology to find answers to your twin flame questions. You won't get your answers in those things. Then there are other tools like the past life regression session. To some extent I would say that the past life regression session could help in some way, but not every time. Like if I tell you my experience, when I had gone for a past life regression, my spirit guides had clearly given me a dream message that I need not go to these sessions. So they had completely prevented me from doing that. But of course it could vary person to person, and there is a possibility that you might find some information, but always know that your spirit guides will only reveal information which you are supposed to know at this particular point of time in your life. If you are not supposed to know about it, even if you do a PLR session, you will not know about it. We are also seeking our information from various websites, YouTube channels, blogs, people who are writing books. So there is this phase in everybody's journey that you want to hog a lot of information and you're just reading, and you're getting so confused. Where exactly a lot of people are getting lost is that they are willing to believe anyone and everyone who is coming across and talking about twin flames. So my suggestion is that you have to be really choosy when it comes to whom you are seeking from. It's very important to understand this, that you need to determine whom you resonate with and whom you are seeking from. There is a profound difference here when it comes to a guidance from a twin flame collective and seeking third party advice. So whatever we were discussing as of now was seeking a third party advice. Now when it comes to getting a guidance from a twin flame collective, it means that you are sharing your experiences, you are learning from other twin flames. When we talk about twin flame collective, that there are a lot of twin flames who are now coming together as community or as a group, and collectively we are sharing so much of information, and our sharing is becoming guidance for a lot of people, or somebody else's experience becomes your survival guide. So it is happening, and definitely it has got a profound reason and a profound purpose behind it. Now the question comes that if at all you are wanting to have some sort of an advice, there are so many people who are also claiming to be twin flame experts, twin flame gurus, coaches. Some are declaring that they are in union. So there is a lot of confusion even in the twin flame scenario. So how do you know? How do you know that you are seeking a right advice from a right person? How do you choose somebody is okay to get guidance from? I'm trying to give you some sort of a pointers which can help you to choose right guide or a mentor or facilitator for yourself, if at all you need. First and foremost, when you listen to their advice, first and foremost clue you need to check is that, are you really feeling uplifted when you listen to their advice? Are you feeling inspired? Are you feeling that you have learned something new? Are you feeling that there is something which has shifted inside you? If you are not feeling positive in terms of your vibes, your understanding, your overall feeling after you talk to them or after you listen to them or read their advice, choose a person with whom you feel uplifted, a person who can really guide you on a correct path on your spiritual journey. Such person will never predict anything for you. They will never say that this person is your twin flame, or they won't conclude anything from you. They will not judge you in anything. If you are telling them some story, even if the darkest part of your life, they will never judge you. They will listen to you with all the empathy, and they will never predict things for you. They will never say that this is right or this is wrong, or they will never say that this person is your twin flame or this is not your twin flame. They will only give you clues so you can advance from where you are at this stage so that you go to the next level of your understanding. I mean, I feel that this is a great indicator of a good teacher, and I can also give you an example of my math teacher. I was really bad at math, and I was in ninth standard, and I was not understanding how to solve these geometry theorems. And my teacher kept telling me that I am not going to tell you how to solve these theorems, because the person who invented these theorems, there was nobody to tell them how to solve these theorems, but they could. So if they could, you can also solve the theorems. So she never really told me the steps to solve, but as I started focusing on that problem, I could solve that problem. And I feel that completely removed my fear of solving an unknown problem in maths. This is an example of a great teacher. And I think in spiritual journey also you need people like this, which give you clues, which take out the best in you instead of telling you what to do and what not to do. The real true spiritual teacher or a guide would uh, show you the way. They will give you the clue. They will not spoon feed you in any way. They will not predict anything for you. They will not tell you what is right, what is wrong. They'll only give you suggestions and put rest of the things on you. In fact, our spirit guides do the exact same thing. Our spirit guides never predict anything for us. They only give us clues in terms of synchronicities and signs. They guide us on our path. They show us the way. And they never judge us for whatever we do. If we deviate from our path, they try and put us again back on their path, back on our path. So similarly, if you are seeking any sort of a guide or a mentor here on an earth plane, look for these qualities in that person.